Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's video. I'm Sarah and this is Sarah Walton Pottery. This is another Glaze with Me video where I am going to show you how to glaze these beautiful mugs. This new glaze combo, I've never tried it before and it has very quickly risen to my favorite list. It's right up there with my lustrous jade and dark green and my sunset pink with Archie's base. You know how much I love those. So it's kind of gone right up there, and I wanted to share it with you because I think you too are really going to enjoy it. I've paired it with Plainsman clay, which is another one of my favorites. It's a rich, deep burgundy clay body. Plainsman clay is out of Alberta, Canada, and it is a truly amazing, a really nice clay body to work with. If you haven't got your hands on it, you know, try to do so because it really is lovely. I'm not sponsored. I'm just sharing what I use. So for today's video, the day one footage, I don't know what happened. I didn't hit record, and so you missed me put the first layer of glaze on, but we're going to pick up from there and you'll be able to, I think you'll be able to understand what I've done. So let's go down to the studio. I'm back, day two. All the pots have had a little bit more time to dry, and you might have noticed I got my hair cut. So yeah, went quite short, a little shorter than I had intended, but new do. But we're going to continue doing these pots. So I've done 2 coats of toasted sage. I've done 2 coats of toasted sage on all of these. And now I'm going to follow up with a coat of textured turquoise. Actually, no, I think I'm going to do 3 coats of textured turquoise. Sorry, Coconut is exploring and crying, so you're going to hear her throughout this entire video. So I'm going to do 3 coats of this on top of these mugs. So what I'm doing here is with a wet sponge, just wiping the bottom of the pot, removing any splatter of glaze, as well as really creating a hard line with the actual glaze itself so that I can encourage more kind of billowing or drips. This is a brush of choice for me. I like my fan brushes. I'm a fan of the fan brush, but it truly just loads up the glaze and deposits it so well that you will get a really good coverage or coating of glaze. Be sure to always shake your glaze, especially when it's a brand new bottle, but always, and even in between uses, give it a shake to really make sure all the ingredients are incorporated, and therefore you're going to get a better glaze result. I shook, and I'm also stirring. I've got my little stir stick just to make sure I get all the particles off the bottom of the pot. Be sure to load your brush. You really want to make sure you have a lot of glaze in your brush when you're actually glazing, and this is going to give you the really dramatic effect of getting those billows or runs when you've got your brush loaded. And you don't want to ever have like a drag. Like, you should always flow very smoothly. So you can see I've really saturated. I'm okay if I have those runs and drips, because that'll add interest, having multi-layers or different levels or thicknesses of glaze on your pot. only glazing was this fast in real time, that would be amazing. Anyways, you'll see how I'm loading up the glaze. I'm really trying to concentrate color towards the rim, so it's thicker at the rim and it kind of just sort of steps down as you get closer to the bottom. This will help ensure you're not going to get too much running, because you don't want, of course, your glaze to run off your pot, but it just helps I just find to have that little bit of a staggered effect between my base glaze and then my upper glaze. Don't forget, you need to write everything down. Write down how many coats, how far down you've put it. It's really good to have those detailed notes so that you can actually replicate it later on. And also, if you have to leave your studio for a week, sometimes that happens, you'll know exactly what you've done so that you can kind of pick up where you left off. So you'll see here, I am actually shaking the glaze. This is the texture turquoise again. I'm giving it a good shake in between coats just to ensure that all the ingredients are incorporated properly. And this too is a good practice to help ensure you're going to get a good glaze result. Handles in. Bringing it all the way around, 12. So turn on my first switch, hit the power button. So are you ready? I am. Why does it do this to me? Okay. You want to come in and see it? I know, I always do this to you guys. Come and see it. Come see it with me. All right, let's just move this over. And we are going to do this together. Okay. All right, ready? Ready? Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Da 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 da. All right. Ooh. Huh, okay. This was not what I thought it was going to look like. I'm undecided on whether I like it. This is toasted sage and textured turquoise on the red clay. I'm not thrilled with this. I don't know. Well, maybe. It might become my favorite. That's happened before where I'm like, I'm not thrilled, but you know what it is? I don't like the weak edge. I don't like that. I should have probably used wax to create my shape rather than trying to clean it off and then having this sheer layer of glaze. Well, the color, this is interesting how it's crystallizing up here. So maybe it's just this part I don't like. Well, we got 4 of them. Ooh, that's better. That one's better. That one's much better. See how it's heavy on the edge? That's what I like. I don't like the wishy-washy edge. So I do like this a lot, actually. A lot. Okay. 2. And I got a 3rd. Ooh, that one even, oh, that's nice. See, this is what I like. I love when it billows like that. Oh, that's lovely. That's quite nice on this clay. Remember, I just took a shot at it and I went for it, right? Look at that. That's actually really quite nice. I love the color of this clay. My goodness, how rich it gets. The bare clay. Oh, these handles feel nice too. They're so smooth. Very nice, very nice. Not a blemish inside. So perfect. See, only one was kind of ugly. That one had all the texture on the top and you can't see the texture at all. Or well, a little bit, but. All right, I had to get a new card. All right. So. This, like I said, was toasted sage. This one is probably the one that was the first one I pulled out of the kiln, and I wasn't thrilled with the way that kind of looked on the edges there. It didn't give me the effect that I wanted, but the others did a very good job. So this one's a pretty stable glaze. It doesn't really want to run too much. It billowed up nicely, but it doesn't actually, I mean, that might have, had I done maybe a hold, it might have run. But I didn't get back to the kiln in time. So this, I'm actually quite, yeah, it's just not what I expected. I expected a little bit more of, less of the blue-green. I was expecting more, I don't know, more of the, more beigey in a sense. Beigey green, not so vibrant of a teal. That's not what I had thought of. But I kind of like the way it does all this. So it's interesting on texture. So that's... just love this. I just fell in love with it. You know, I wasn't as thrilled when I first pulled it out of the kiln because I expected something else, and that's hard. Like, you know, you put something together and you think it's going to do something, and then it doesn't. So you sometimes takes you a minute. But honestly, the longer I look at this, I'm just so fond of it. It's so pretty. And the way that, you know, the glaze pools on here, but the combination of these two together are just stellar, because you're dealing with green and red, right? You got, or the teals and the bricks tones. These are a complementary color story, and they work so well together. So tell me what you think. Are you going to try it yourself? I hope so. I hope you do, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So with that said, thank you so much for tuning in and watching my video and supporting this channel. And until next time, take care.